y'all know I'm doing this for the 30 of you that watch my videos. This is my second time going out and filming this, because the first time my mic wasn't plugged in, so that's fun. Anyways, today's gonna be a short video. It's just gonna be 5 things I love, or like 5 things I like and 5 things I don't like about my 2017 zx10r. And obviously these are all my personal opinions of the bike and how I feel about it. So let's just hop into it. Alright, so I guess I'm gonna start with 5 things I don't necessarily like about this bike, and some of them aren't mine, but I know a lot of other people, when I go like to forums and communities and whatnot, that they complain about this bike. But the first thing that I don't like is, my thing is, there's 1,000,001 bolts on this bike, and like, you know, the clips and stuff, and half of them are hidden when you're trying to take things, you know, your bike apart. So, and like I said, this is all my personal opinion about it, but I believe that there's other bikes. I have friends that have R1s and R6s, and I find working on those bikes a lot easier. This bike isn't as owner maintenance friendly as some other brands, and there's other brands that I think are worse than this bike. That's just my little pet peeve, I guess you could say. Another thing I know, and this is like the one I was talking about where I don't mind it as much, but I know a lot of people don't like the speedometer and tachometer on this bike just because it's old, outdated. Kawasaki's been using it forever, and then, you know, everyone else has the screen displays and whatnot, the real nice, all fancy ones. And to me, honestly, to me, it doesn't bug me that much, just because when am I looking down at the speedometer or tachometer? Yeah, I'll glance down and check, you know, time, temperature of the bike, etc., like fast I'm going, whatnot. But most of the time when I street ride, you know, I don't do nothing crazy. I don't track the bike. I want to, but I'm not looking down at the speedometer and tachometer. I'm looking at the road, so it really doesn't bug me that much. Same as if I was have any other bike, I'm not going to be staring down at the speedo and the tach while I'm riding the bike. But so that doesn't bug me too much. The third thing I want to get into that I guess is a little pet peeve is, and I don't have the specific data for this bike, and I compare it to all the other bikes, but the way I feel is that Kawasaki's, when they come stock, they're very restricted compared to other bikes. And so off the line stock, I think they're not as good performance wise, power, like, and whatnot, as other brands out there, because these bikes are very restricted stock. And on mine I have block off plates, I have the slip-on exhaust from M4 Street Slayer, and I have an ECU flash as well, which opened up the low to mid-range a lot, and it really opened up this bike a lot, which is really nice. So that'll be my third ISL pet peeve. I don't know, man, it's kind of hard, because I really do love this bike. Like, I'm not saying I hate this bike by any means. I own the bike for 2 years, and it's my dream bike. I love this bike. I always wanted a zx10r. I'm super happy with this bike. I guess number 4 would kind of tie into number 1 a little bit. Just the amount of like stuff you have to take off sometimes to work on this bike is insane. And I guess it's like kind of like a petty thing to talk about, but I know here soon that I'm gonna be taking off and replacing my headlights on this bike, because I got custom headlights coming in hopefully within 2 weeks, and I'll do another video on that. But taking off this front fairing, I hate it. I don't like it. It's kind of a pain, but it is what it is, just because there's 2 bolts in there that are pretty dug up deep back in there, and it sucks to get them, like, it sucks more to get them in than out, I think. But I don't know, that's just me bitching, me complaining. And then the 5th thing, I guess I'll tie this 5th fifth thing into the first thing that I also do like. But the fifth thing a lot of people don't like, and this is not just focusing on this brand, but it's mirrors. Everyone takes off the mirrors, puts on the bar end mirrors, and that's just totally based on the personal, like how they like the bike to look. I know a lot of people don't like it. Me personally, I love the mirrors. Like they're totally functional. They don't look bad. The blinkers are in there, so I don't have to worry about buying, like, you know, lights for the front blinkers to be legal. And I don't mind them. I think they look great on this bike. Now, like I said, that's totally a personal opinion type of thing. But going into the second thing that I do like about this bike is after I've done all these, like the ECU flash, the exhaust, yada yada yada, and the below to mid-range open up, this bike is a beast. Like, this bike is fast, like stupid fast. Like, I will never ever use the amount of potential this bike has ever. Like, it doesn't matter if I go to the track and I ride and I start doing track days and get really good at that, I will never use this bike to its fullest potential. At least I don't see myself doing that, but it doesn't matter, man. Like, this bike is such a blast. This thing is so fun to ride. And third thing, this bike is, I would say, more economic friendly to the rider than other bikes, such as like the R1, for instance. The R1, I know the seating position is very aggressive because they inspire that bike to be track a lot. It's just more like, you're just more hunched over, just the seating position's all different. So I got this bike, and the fact that it's more like, the reason why I bought it is because I knew I was going to be going longer distances on this bike. Long distance on a super sport, oh, that's smart. But anyways, that's another reason. And the fourth is, to me and to you, whenever you go buy a bike, like, obviously you're not going to buy a bike that's ugly, well, that you personally think is ugly. I find this bike aesthetically pleasing. I love the body work on it. I love the lines. I love everything. I love how they built this bike. That's obviously why I got it. Not saying that I think some other bike is ugly, but this one just stands out to me personally more, and I like it. So that's another thing. And the fifth thing is feeling like I like about this bike is I felt comfortable on it from like day one. Like, yeah, it was my first like super sport, it was my first 1000cc bike, I get it, but I did my research on the bikes. I shopped around, I looked at different bikes, I sat on different bikes, and this is the one that I felt most comfy on, from seating position to whatever. I'm 5'8", about 185 pounds, and I fit on this bike, I think, nicely. So if I have both feet down, I'm not necessarily like tippy-toed, but I'm not completely flat-footed. But I could very easily flat-foot this bike on one side without like hunching, like, you know, scooting over the seat and whatnot. And that's a huge thing. Is you just got to go to your local dealership, do your research, you know, find out what bike you like, get a variety. I'll say get like a few options in your price range, whatever that is, of bikes that you like. Do your research on those bikes, because you can look, I mean, internet, you know, internet, you can look anything up on the internet. You can find anything about any bike that you want, obviously. And then just go to your local dealership and sit on any kind of bike. Like, sit on the bikes that you picked out and see what you feel is more comfy. And it's just not about seating position, but like easy, like gauge. Like the gauge is here. I could easily get to any gauge. Like at this point, I could get to them without looking down at them, and I know exactly where, you know, where everything is at. Which that will come with any bike over time as you ride it long enough. But on top of that, you know, okay, so you go, you find some bikes, okay, like this. Maybe there's one that's like marked down, sale, rebate, whatever, and that's a better deal. It might be a year younger than what you're expecting, but that's fine. Well, I mean, you're older, not younger, you're older than you're expecting, but that's fine. You know, and like the safety is like on this is the #1 thing. And I'm talking about safety, I don't wear like a long sleeve shirt, but forgive me, is bloody hot out today, well over 100. It sucks. And so obviously, you know, what you feel safe is on, what you feel comfortable on, and something that you're going to do for your own whatever use that you can use the bike for, daily riding, track, etc., whatever. Just go find something that you know you're gonna have fun on, that you're not gonna regret buying, that you're not gonna necessarily get bored of. And I'll do this in a different video, like what my opinions on like starter bikes, what bike you can start on, etc. I'll do that in a different video. But anyways, guys, this was honestly a short video. This is also because I just got this new microphone in. I wanted to test it out, see if the video quality was going to be any better than my previous microphone. I'm really hoping it is. But today's going to be a short video. It was honestly just going to be the 5 things that I like and I necessarily don't like about this bike. In total, like after everything's said and done, like I said, this is my dream bike. I always wanted a zx10. Of course, I want other leader bikes too. I want multiple bikes. I mean, I want enduro bikes. I want a freaking, you know, it's either a Z125 Pro or the Grom. Like, I want a lot of things eventually. I'm looking at also wanting the KTM zx10r 690, the enduro bike. That bike looks like a lot of fun. So I'm not just, you know, trying to be biased towards like, oh, this is like super sports only or whatever. Like, there's a different type of bike for different types of people out there, obviously. But with that, guys, I hope you have a great day. If you like this video, please don't forget to like the video. Subscribe to my channel for upcoming videos. Right now I'm putting out 1 video a week. I'm gonna try to up that to 2 here eventually. I just, you know, to get better at video editing, quality of videos, content, whatnot. So yeah, guys, like, subscribe, comment, and have a wonderful day. Later.